Our epistle reading comes from the book of Hebrews, chapter 9, verses 24 through 28. Listen for the word of God. For Christ did not enter the sanctuary made by human hands, a mere copy of the true one, but he entered into heaven itself, now to appear in the presence of God on our behalf. Nor was it to offer himself again and again as the high priest enters the holy place year after year with blood that is not his own. For then he would have had to suffer again and again since the foundation of the world. But as it is, he has appeared once for all at the end of the age to remove sin by the sacrifice of himself. And just as it is appointed for mortals to die once and after that the judgment, so Christ, having been offered once to bear the sins of many, will appear a second time, not to deal with sin, but to save those who are eagerly awaiting him. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Will you pray with me? Almighty God, once again we come to you to have you speak to our hearts. And so may the words of my mouth and the meditation of all of our hearts be acceptable in your sight, O God, our rock and our Redeemer. Amen. Well, as I said to the kids, 100 years ago today, November 11th, 1918, an armistice was signed between German and the Allied leaders in a boxcar in France at 11 a.m., effectively ending hostilities. The war to end all wars, it was called. World War I lasted for 4 years. The United States was only part of that war for the last year. During that First World War, 9 million soldiers were killed, 21 million wounded. Germany, Russia, France, and Great Britain each lost around 1 million soldiers. The United States, as I said, was only part of the war for 1 year, suffered 116,000 losses, about twice the number killed, lost in Vietnam. The kind of warfare those World War I soldiers faced was absolutely brutal. Trench warfare, keeping their heads down, living in squalor and in muck up to their knees, never able to get in their clothes dried out. You've heard the term trench foot. That's where it comes from. Lack of antibiotics when they were killed. Blood transfusions hadn't been invented yet. If you were wounded, odds are you weren't going home. 1 year later, after that armistice was signed, the day was remembered as Armistice Day. In 1938, it was made a federal holiday here in the United States. After World War II in Korea, it was renamed Veterans Day to honor the veterans of all wars. This morning, we're on this anniversary of that day. We are honoring our veterans. So I invite you, if you are a veteran, to please stand. And there are veterans right now who are serving Lieutenant General. Charlie and Dorothy's niece Victoria serving in the Army. Dan and Karen's son-in-law Mike and grandson both in the Army. Rita Robles in basic training for the Air Force right now. Michael Knoll serving in the Navy. These are all people that have given their lives. They might serve us. Hopefully we will bring them all home like our veterans who are here this morning. These veterans made sacrifices. They offered themselves so that we might know freedom. Hebrews tells us that Jesus made the ultimate sacrifice for us. In the ancient days, priests made atonement for sin by sacrificing animals, usually once a year on a day called Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. They would enter into the Holy of Holies and they would offer a blood sacrifice on behalf of the people of Israel. And the people would celebrate that time together. They would try to go a year without sinning. But then a year later, the priest would have to go and offer that offering again. But Jesus, the writer of Hebrews tells us, is the ultimate high priest and sacrificed himself on our behalf once and for all time, not over and over. And that is one of the reasons that here in our Presbyterian Church, this is a table. This is the Lord's table. It's not an altar. In the Roman Catholic Church, every time they gather for Mass, they're actually reenacting Jesus' sacrificial death. That's why it's an altar in the Catholic Church. Here it's a table. Here we celebrate what Jesus did once for all times. Jesus gave his life for others. Jesus gave his life that others might live. One scholar wrote, so why did Jesus die? He died because he offended the power of people and challenged the status quo. He could have remained silent, but he didn't. Instead, he spoke up and helped the people around him who were being stepped on, used and abused. Theologian Mark Sandlin says that Jesus died on a cross to show us what love in action looks like. In the Gospel of John, Jesus is recorded as saying, no one has greater love than this, than to lay down one's life for one's friends. That's what love in action is, laying down one's life for one's friends. Jesus laid down his life for his friends, for you, for me, for men and women who have come before us and who will come after us. Soldiers lay down their lives for others too. When soldiers make their sacrifice, they give up their own security for the security of others. They put themselves in harm's way to protect their family members, friends, and strangers and neighbors from danger, and strangers as well. Just last Thursday, I was out at the California Veterans Cemetery at Fort Ord, which, by the way, is not a national cemetery. It is a privately funded California cemetery because here on the Central Coast, we are too close to Santanella, where the San Joaquin National Cemetery is. So this one's privately funded. But I was out there, and there's a poem that I read when I do a soldier's funeral. This was a soldier who had fought in World War II and Korea, and gave his life. He lived to be 82, but he offered himself then. And it talks about how soldiers don't always have time to make it to church, but they're always standing at the ready. Well, there's another story I want to share with you from the Second World War. Desmond Doss was a devout Christian who refused to touch a weapon or to work on the Sabbath. He enlisted in the army during the Second World War because he believed in the cause, offering to be a combat medic. At first, the army wanted nothing to do with him. He just didn't fit the Army's model of what a good soldier should be, said a documentary filmmaker to National Public Radio in November of 2016. Members of his battalion considered him a pest. They saw him as a slacker, and they threw shoes at him when he prayed. But at Okinawa, in the spring of 1945, Doss and his company faced a grueling task. They had to climb a steep, jagged cliff and face thousands of heavily armed Japanese soldiers. Under heavy fire, Doss climbed up the ridge and crawled from wounded soldier to wounded soldier, dragging them to safety. He was praying the whole time, Lord, please help me get one more. In the end, Doss saved 75 men over a 12-hour period. The soldiers who had shamed him now praised him, and his captain described him as one of the bravest persons alive. President Harry Truman awarded Doss the Medal of Honor in 1945, and more than 70 years later, he was the hero of the movie Hacksaw Ridge. He was and is an example of a veteran who gave up his own security for the security of others, both on the battlefield and back at home. When I was a chaplain, I had a similar experience with a soldier who had joined the California National Guard to serve his country post 9/11. But when he was in the process of his training, his advanced infantry training, he became a Christian. Another soldier witnessed to him. And he became a Christian, and his reading of the Bible said that he could not take another human life. But he still wanted to serve, but he wanted to be guaranteed that he could be a combat medic and not have to carry a weapon. But unfortunately, the policy in the Second World War was to allow that. The policy now, the Army is no, you are a rifleman first and a combat medic second. So he came to me as the chaplain to ask if he could read conscientious objection status. And I listened to his story and I agreed that, yes, I know you want to serve, but we'll release you from your duties, and his captain agreed with me. And I hope he went on to serve in some other way. Each week, we confess confess our sin each week, to acknowledge that we continue to sin. Christ sacrificed himself once for our sins, but we're human beings, and we continue to do things wrong, we continue to hurt others. But because of Christ's sacrifice, we're assured of pardon when we seek to follow him. That we are always, no matter what we do, we are always continued to be forgiven of him. So, my friends, keep on following Jesus' example. It might mean giving ourselves completely like soldiers and Marines, airmen, sailors, Coast Guardsmen. It means following Jesus' example, serving the poor, caring for the needy, looking out for those around us. I want to end with a complete quote from Mark Sadlin that I quoted part of earlier. He said, "The sins of many are any things that separate people from God and from each other. These sins are any unloving words or actions that drive wedges between people and destroy relationships. Christ's sacrificial action does away with sin," says biblical scholar Richard Nielsen. "It was an act that removed any obstacle that blocked the relationship between God and God's people. The death of Jesus saves us from our sins by giving us a new path for our lives, one that challenges us to follow Christ in the way of love. When we put our faith in him and really trust him to be our Lord, we are able to love God and neighbor in a new way. Our lives are enriched by the love of Christ instead of being corrupted by sinful separation from God and neighbor. Jesus came to show us what the fullness of love looks like in action. It looks like healing people who are hurt. It looks like feeding people who are hungry. It looks like loving people who are shunned. It looks like defending people who are overwhelmed. It looks like friends sharing food together. It looks like grieving over the loss of a friend. It looks like a conversation over a drink of cool water. It looks like helping a celebration along at a wedding. It looks like helping the lost find the meaning of life. It looks like a man hanging from a tree because the threat of death from the most powerful government on the face of the planet was not enough to subdue his love for those who were being taken advantage of. So today we remember our veterans and we thank our veterans for their sacrifice. And we remember the sacrifice that Christ made for us. Let us live our lives worthy of Christ's sacrifice. Will you pray with me? Gracious God, we do thank you for all who serve you, for those who serve you in uniform and for those who serve by feeding the hungry, caring for the lost and lonely. Help us all to serve you. Help us all to live our lives, given what you have given us to do. We pray these things in Jesus' name.